Deluxecoff's Wild Mongrel Bubblegum. Blows colored bubbles. Changes colors while you chew. Discard your old brand for something new.
Deluxecoff's Wild Mongrel Bubblegum. It's yummy.
Beat it or I'll call the Brute Squad.
I'm on the Brute Squad.
You are the Brute Squad.
Hello to all of you, and welcome back, especially my cohorts in crime. Little Fighting Shirazamon. I am just in absolute admiration, love with this deck. I've changed it so many times over the last month. I know we covered it a couple games last week. I made some huge improvements, and I don't think I've lost with this build. I am in a league, and I'm 3-0 right now. It's the first league I've played in, I think, weeks or months, and before that, months. Really having a really good time with it. We'll go over that in a little bit. Big changes though. That's why usually I try to keep things fresh, new. Even if it's a super rogue, doesn't stand a chance idea, I really want to have the options to show you guys something new every week. And there's enough changed here that I think this qualifies, and plus there's been quite a bit of liking and emails about this deck here and blah blah blah. So all right, Shabraz in the House Paladin 19 and Cardbreaker. All right, so we have all 4 Gingerbrutes now, so now it really lives up to the name Brute Squad. Why? Believe it or not, one of the worst matchups I had that was like 50-50, and I just kept scratching my head going, oh, I guess it's not a worst matchup, is it? But I thought, why is this happening? So it was against Burn, and so I put in all 4 Gingerbrutes. Also, it is evasion. It's really good against lifelink. You block, sack, they don't gain the life like in a Seeker of the Way scenario, blah, blah, blah. But more importantly, and the thing you really need to get your head around with this deck is the drum and, oops, I should have put this over here, the encampment. These are 8 Bird of Paradise haste effects that our creatures have just because we're playing these cards. And if you'll notice, there's only really 5 white sources. Now, my hive mind thinks maybe I should swap one of these for a plains, but so far I've really been liking the results. And it allows you to have that maximum flexibility where it feels like you're playing a monocolored deck that can just draw a ton of cards and refill its hand and everything else. So what am I talking about? Well, if you start off with a seat or an encampment, let's not forget we have 13 lands. So down from 14, and I don't regret it at all. We're fine. I've won many a game with 1 land in this build. If you're stuck on these, you're no longer stuck, because the odds of you having a drum is cool, but an encampment even cooler. And then you need colorless creatures. So yeah, you could argue, hey, why not play a Witching Well or the 2/2 blue Artificer guy or whatever. And it's like, well, because that's blue, and then you run into the same problem where you've got the wrong color of something. So enough of that. Between Ornithopter, Gingerbrute, Husk, Drum, Encampment, we usually can do anything we want on turn 1. After that, it gets really crazy. We've got Thoughtcast and Of One Mind, which can, start churning out things on turn 2, which is like refilling your hand. All the teeth are back. I really missed this card when I experimented last week with 1 Bone Splitter. Never quite like seeing it. It did power up Ornithopter. And also gone from last week's list is Perilous Research, which just only was good in the mid to late game. And I just hadn't, I knew I wasn't going to settle on that, but I'd come full circle around to this. Anyway, Of One Mind, Gingerbrute, we got Drum, we got all 4 Flayer Husks. Really like this late game. I just had a game last night where I had like a 3/5 Ornithopter because it was just grinding, and they had Prismatic in the art. It was against Boros, and it was just nighty-night, eventually this has an inevitability game built into it too. And let's not even get into Gingerbrute because there's not many things with haste. We've got Thraben Inspector, the Glint Hawks, and the Ardent Recruits in our sideboard. 2 Hallows. Really wanted to, mostly actually, this is obviously good against Burn. What I've been noticing against Burn is Hydroblast isn't that great except for their creatures. Dispel wasn't that great. So you've noticed a complete lack of Dispel. And against Tron and such, I was bringing in too many cards. And so I leaned on just the Macabre and the aggro of Harsh Sustenance to either take out a creature or go to the Dome. So I got rid of Dispel, which I was finding wasn't that good against Burn. It was mostly sorcery speed stuff that was killing me, and so I needed a way to deal with a Tog and that, and so I brought these in, and I really like Hallow at the 2 spot. It really allows for some blowouts. I just beat a Dimir Angler. I don't know if that's what you would call it, but it had Evankar's Justice, and I gained like 40 life with this thing. It was ridiculous because I had so many creatures out. Anyway, we've got 1 extra ring in the board and then Prismatic. So you're probably thinking, hey, old fool, why are you running 1 ring and 2 journeys? Well, 3 journeys felt right, but I needed a catch-all option in the main deck. If I Spider Silk, Armor, Pestilence, there's a lot of things out there that you know, you got to do. And despite our super low curve, you can get to it pretty easily. And then I just wanted an extra insurance policy in the sideboard. Anyway, let's all take a collective breath there, minimize this, and I will go for broke and show you. Oh yeah, so we've got 3 wins, 0 losses here. I'm not going to play a match here because I don't want to get ghosted. I mean, I'm already in the break-even, tiny profit margin, but I'd really like to 5-0 with this list. If I do, I'll definitely try to, put that into a video and brag about it. I just love this deck. I love it so much. David Kane first came up with it. Like I said, it had the... what was it? It was, sorry for the jumpy screen there. I know one of you sent me a really cool fix for that, but man, it was like you needed a Harvard education to figure that out. Anyway, David King came up with the idea. I mean, it had Frogmites. It had, I think it's probably 20 cards different now. So I don't, but you know, hey, the Genesis was there, and I think like most decks, anybody would eventually stumble on something, but I'm sure thankful for him fast forwarding my alertness as far as the Azorius Madman goes, because I've always liked that style. But hey, I just resized this. Boy, it's like it's messing with me here. Alrighty, I haven't even looked at my hand yet. I'm just trying to line this stuff up. We'll kill this. Doink. We have what we need. We don't have blue. I mean, we eventually do here, so we'll keep this. 2 land hands are almost an auto keep because our creature density. We are a little heavy on the removal. I mean, that's 2/3 of our removal package. So, yeah. Anyway, our opponent has skipped their land drop, maybe? Oh, okay. Hey, maybe we'll get the burn matchup I was talking about. So with this scenario, I'm going to lead off with this in case this is burn. I might want to use this later to trip, and we don't really have much outside of Thoughtcast that we're requiring many artifacts. Got such a show for you guys today. I know I sound like some cheesy 80s disc jockey, but one of my oldest friend on the planet, his name's Randy. He goes by James Bond X on Magic Online. Hit him up for a game or 3 if you ever find him. You'll be finding him more and more lately. Poor guy, just he lost his job now. So anyway, we're between trying to find him that thing. We got him to do a VO for the new Fire and Ice elixirs and vodkas and gins and stuff. So yeah, I was working on that for like a week straight. Finally got it done. If you want to cheat, you can go over to YouTube. It's there right now. But we've got that and a few other things available. So pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, probably going to be eating a bunch of hate here. I'd really like to keep that at full strength, but I'm not going to, make them have it, right? We'll see. That way we can drop this next turn, swing for 4 or even more. But so this is an example of a very slow hand for this deck. I've had like 5-6 creatures out on turn 2, believe it or not. I think it's obscenely fast sometimes. You can like sometimes keep a Ancient Den draw and just keep replaying it, tapping it, doing stuff, or repeating the scale. But I just kind of wanted a day dedicated to BruteSquad, and I mean, who didn't like that Andre the Giant intro, right? That's pretty cool. Woo! What do you think of the Blood Pick? Blood Pet. I think it's completely unnecessary, card breaker. Stuff dies left and right. I know when Bone Picker last week was broke, everybody, that was one of the first ones everybody jumped to, and not me. I'd rather run Fume Spitter. I'm guaranteed to get 2-for-1 action out of that. Something's going to die, no matter what, and then it's on your end. And you don't have to, have a hollow draw on that coming up through Bone Splitter. All right, so we'll drop this and see if we can at least survive. I might get a bolt in response, but I can react accordingly. I like these little gotcha plays. It's like, well, the lightning bolt kills anyway, even with that not on the stack. But well, you get that you understand the stack. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty. Well, let me bring this dude out. Up against Boros. These usually go really long. And now we've got, now here's, slow down. So same scenario, you can get 1 card out or 2. A lot of people miss this. I'm going to bring out the drum first, tap it for white, and you get that avalanche of advantage going on here. We'll see. So now we just, oops, no, concede, geez. Attack, I thought I said attack all. That was kind of scary. New BruteSquad build just arrived. Soft tackle. Good to hear from you. Yes. Like I said, just kind of wanted a show dedicated to it. Changed quite a few cards. I don't think I've had like 5 casual games, and I'm in a league right now, and I'm 3-0. So I have not lost with this. I know that's the old. I don't even know if this is wood or not, but I'm sure it'll happen today. Between rolling the commercials and being the motor mouth that I am. But hey, that's what we're here to do. See what happens. See what goes bad and such. All right, so we've got the old school, oh, kind of a new school lightning bolt. I don't think I've ever seen that. A bear with lightning. Interesting. Sometimes I hate that. You build up for that promo, whatever art, and you don't like it as much as the tried and true stuff. Like I've got a Master's Edition lightning bolt, and I got rid of all the other ones. I love it. Reminds me of playing at the gelatos with Little Fight and old Magic cards with sanded edges and everything scratched and... yeah, just no sleeves. Just turning things sideways on concrete. Good times. Woo! All right, here we are. Okay, well, here, let's fill up our hand again. Of 1 mind. It's a lot to ask for 1 mana. Not. I think just because of the journey count here, I'm going to go a little crazy here. We'll rock like this. We'll draw some more cards. Boing. Now here I could use a journey, but I think I'm going to save it because we drew into the tooth. Ooh, that'd be fun too. We could do that. Yeah, let's bring this out. And we'll make one of them unblockable just because I'm just kind of want something to do with my mana. Oops. No. We're not going to make anything unblockable because we're going to just attack, and then our teeth are going to take up the rest. We'll trade a Gingerbrute for a tooth activation. Keep moving. The other thing I like about that over Bone Splitter, scenarios like this, you get some free info in this. And we can do this, come over here. All of a sudden we've got kind of an armada. They got no creatures, and we're holding 2 journeys. Feeling pretty good. Yeah, soft tackle, that was the thing. You know, I'm always trying to, almost to a fault, bring new stuff all the time. And I was like, you know what, I wouldn't be being true to myself because I've just been in such love with this deck. And it takes a lot for me to get out of bed and do a league anymore. I mean, I rarely ever compete on that. I just don't because of the Tron Menace, but this is putting up like 50-50 or a little bit better in my case numbers against Tron, and I'm happy to have it. So here's a huge slowdown play, and that's another good target for our Oblivion Ring is their journeys or Oblivion Rings and such. Let's see what the culprit is. Usually the Recruit, which I kind of like because it's a magnet for removal, and anything can block it. Like I'm always bitching about Gurmag Angler at this stage. It's obviously the best one, but if there was only 1 Gingerbrute out, I think you could argue grab that too, because with 2 teeth out and double Gingerbrutes, not much you can do. And like in this scenario, all right, I can make them both unblockable. The only thing you can block is the other Inspector, and then the tooth will kill your guy. So it's pretty cool. So the deck also gives the illusion of Electricity being good against it. Outside of Gingerbrutes, it isn't. The Germ tokens are awesome, but you know they have built-in Electricity damage right there. All right, I am tired of seeing this stuff. We've seen a lot of blue, so I'm going to trip this first. See what we can see. We've already played that. All right, I'm just going to keep my dudes back. I'm going to make this have haste. I mean, only blocked by haste. Card Breaker, I'm a bad person to ask on that. I've been playing decks that are doing okay against Tron for long enough now, but I've seen plenty of natural turn 3 stuff going on, enough to rage against Tron. I don't think it set it back that much. I'd be lying if I said not at all. I mean, there's definitely like a 5% tick down, bump, whatever you want to call it, against it, but for the most part, it's still the best deck. Kobayas Ticklebush in the house. Been a long time, my friend. All right, so, okay, well, there goes our dude. Now, outside of another 1 mind, that play hurts, you know, because we don't have a human anymore, but it's all right. They're at 10. We're not feeling too good here. If they start drawing out like a lot of removal, we might get in trouble quick here. But Kobayas Ticklebush in the house. I've had a hard time not playing leagues because in the games in tourney practice room tend to be so slow and low. Oh, right. Oh, I find I get a lot of sideboard games. I think about the only disc I have, as long as you prelude it like fast players, this, that, and the other. But about the only thing I run into is sometimes, rage quitting. And you'll never see that in a league because people are putting up money. But you also don't get the irritating slow roll stuff. But I was thinking, finish that. I was about to finish that tournament up, and then I was just going to sit here. Remember, if you watch the very first live Pauperganda Twitch feeds, we used to do the, what do you call, replays, and I would just talk about it. It was actually very therapeutic for me because I'd be able to revisit stuff, and then I'd be able to focus and not try to play and talk and narrate, do all this stuff. But as you can see right here, too, our Ornithopter has teeth. It's as good as a Glint Hawk with the two teeth out. So never a dead card. I'm just going to keep up with this plan here. We're holding these guys back for like Skyfishers and company. I just want to keep these things open. I'm going to use my artifact land when I can. We'll say haste and haste. And it hasn't really, I don't think, breaker. People just, crop rotations. Yeah, I get you. You've rage quit in leagues? Yeah. I'm sure I have too. All right, just in case, now this is a fun scenario too, where I really like this, where it's like, do you really keep in, what's the card? Prismatic Strands against this. It's like, look what's hitting you. It's artifact damage. It's just enough white that we run Prismatic in this side, but mostly just against like Stompy and Elves. Sometimes can feel a little bit overkill against Burn, but it's always nice to have. Ooh, what a pretty land that is. All right, my critique. Sometimes it borrows drawing cards to draw cards that say draw cards, which you're getting a lot of here, but it might prove to be too much. We'll see. Tron was more fun when it was Fangren Marauders and Curvex Torches. Yeah, I agree. There was at least, you had that coin toss mentality thing. The Tyrant in me kind of likes, having a bully on the block and stuff because I've got something to aim at as a removal. Buddy, streaming, okay? Anyway, thought my loud voice right next to his room would signal that, but I guess not. Hiya! And the inspector shows up. See, the stalemate is solved here because of the teeth. Well, we could just kind of go all in with the journey plan here. I'd feel like a fool if we went the other route, but I'm still going to kind of hold to it. We're going to bring out this dude. One of the other things I love about this deck, I tend to like to tap my stuff first, which, for better or worse, in this deck, it's for better. You tend to want to draw your stuff. You might find teeth. You might find options. You might find haste creatures. This is definitely a first main phase deck, and that's yet another reason why I love it. All right, so we're going to attack with everything here because I want to encourage the give and go. Even that works good. Look at that. Okay, so that can't block. I want him to, well, not that he's going to attack into that. Never mind. Next turn, maybe. Sometimes what I'm trying to say is like when let's say I'm at like 8 life and they're at 6 and they're not playing burn or something. A lot of times you can have a lot of fun with that where you realize if you can get them to swing and you to swing and you've got the haste creatures and the more volume can come out on top. Pretty good. I think we got him next turn. Yeah, Shiraz, I ran into that 3 times yesterday. Got it all 3 times. I think they're leaning a little too hard on removal, but that's what when Hallow granted me something like, I think it was in the 30s. It was obscene. It was like 34 life or something if my notes are correct. That's another notepad. Yeah, that's a great little spell. The other thing I didn't like, and every blue deck I've ever made has Dispel in it, including this one last week, but I just got rid of it because this is a very active aggro deck. You could argue you want to save your things and keep things going aggro, but whereas Hydroblast is always on, I can kill something that's in the way with it. Hollow's a little bit that way, but that's why it's in the sideboard. But I was just getting a few, with Dispel and those options, I was getting a little too reactive. And even Prismatic can be used offensively, as I'm fond of saying. So, all right, our opponent's at 7. We haven't seen 2. We've seen 2 lightning bolts, but Paladin19 says I have a Pauper deck called Darktron I've had together for a few years. Very cool. It was so funny, too. I was on the Pauper MTG, and I'm going to just kill that damn thing. I'm tired of blockers happening. Let's just attack. But I was on Pauper MTG. It was really funny because I said, the very first thing I said was, you know, hey, I know we don't even need to do anything. I know Cast Down's a great card. That was like the first thing I said. But, and then I was just kind of, I went on this little thing about, you know, it's not going to make you dinner. It's not going to give you life. It's not going to, and just kind of in fun, like, guys, chill out. It's 1-for-1 removal. It's, you know, it's the best there is if you got access to black, which most decks do anymore. But, you know, that was kind of the point. And like so many comments, it's so telling of the internet these days, just like, oh, I can't believe you're such an idiot for blah, blah, blah. It's just like, I can't even, like I think I wrote, I can't even fathom what you read or interpreted that made you think that I said that. It's just, it's so telling of the times these days, you know, and just we're like, oh, I'm mad, you're not on my tribe or whatever. It just cracked me up. All right. Hydroblast is going to be pretty good in this matchup, but Hallow is just as good too. So I'm going to bring in 2 and 2, or maybe 2 and 1, maybe 3 and 1. Let me go like, Flayer Husk, okay, I'm going to lose one. Lose one of these. We didn't see too many of those. I'm going to lean on losing one journey. Let's see, we've got one Hallow. I'm going to keep my drums. I'll keep my brutes down to 3 maybe. And let me see. Do I bring in another Hydroblast? I think I do. I think I'll go 3-1. I think leaning on Hallow's a little much there. It might even be a little much here. But it's so nice to save something and gain like 4 life and just completely nullify the spell. I don't know. Maybe it's not even worth it because of I mean, like an Electricity mistimed is really fun too. You can pull that off, but it might be. You know what? I'm going to lose that. Our Hydroblasts are going to be doing that. Never mind. I'm going to put it back in. See how confident I am? Whoo! Cash Override said it's nice. Creatures mostly stuck in Pauper, so it's not that good. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like if you had a magic marker with Doomblade, right? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's great removal. End of story. We will keep this. Love this kind of hand. Got access to everything. Look how expensive our deck is. My youngest, who's really in a commander, you know, he's always laughing. He's like, Dad, you can empty your hand on like turn 1 or 2 and most of your decks. I'm like, what's wrong with that? Just insert cricket sound effects. Speaking of crickets, I haven't heard anything about my 3 now job applications to Wizards of the Coast. They need a video producer, video editor, and they also needed something to do with flavor text and like kind of writing, and so I applied for that too. Which has all amounted to jack squat. All right, we have probably don't care about our Inspector too much. I'm going to lead off with Inspector here. We'll see. But it is funny. I would just love to be the fly on the wall if somebody is just like, you know, going through the resumes and they're just like, oh yeah, here's your portfolio and here's 40 like custom MTG commercials ready for air. It's like, oh, what? Just like, living in a box, baby. Woo. Huh? Okay. Now, this is another thing about Survivors Encampment. So Gorilla Shaman was kind of an issue prior to the encampment build, but now it's not. It's just not that big of a deal. Okay, we can do this and this. So what I'm going to do is power out our options here. Got 1, 2. I'll have 3 next turn. I think I'm going to roll like this. Well, it's a weird one. Weird one. You know what? Since we have the protection suite and he's probably going to have a lightning bolt that we've seen, I'm going to lead off with Gingerbrute here. The upside for massive damage is higher. The other play, just trying to play safe here. 20 ball story. Ancient grudge in the sideboard. Very good target would probably be the drum. They might be waiting on that tooth given how many weapons they gave the Inspector last game. Yeah, well, if you like Encampment, there's also, what's that called? Holdout Settlement. Same exact card, different artwork. Not a fan of the Zendikar thing, that like floating pyramids. I love Zendikar, but all right. Well, let's make a bunch of awesome stuff here. We'll just do this. Now the question here: do we wait around for removal in the little aha moment? I'm gonna just get my guys out. There we go. You have to get through the unholy misery that is human resources departments. That's so true, Kobayas. Yep. The worst part about the job search, I'm sure many of you are finding too, but I was on it for so long, then the awesome job at Disney, and then now I'm back on it, is that whole username password. I'm just going to say it's shit. It's like, come on, people. We're not signing up for a gym membership. We're trying to apply for a job. We don't need a username and password in case somebody's going to hack and pretend to be us looking for a job. I don't understand where that comes from. It just cracks me up. My brother's running into that right now, trying to get university jobs. It's just like username and password. It's like 20-minute process to get signed in so that you can apply for something. It's, drives me nuts. All right. 1, 2, 3. We don't have enough here, but we will once we have that. And I think I'm going to roll that route. We're going to pull this because I'm not going to be using this mana for much of anything else. And we'll bring out this dude. Now we've got the Thoughtcast mana, but I'm not going to do it until, let's see. Yeah, I'll trade my dudes for that. That's fine. I'll attack first. That way I know if the Lightning Bolt and Company is going to show up, for which we can do a few things with. Not quite sure if Hallow or Hydroblast is the better call here. Just going to take it. Interesting. Okay. And here we go. All right. So I'm going to Hallow this one. Gain 3 life. Oh yeah, Chid 3. He did the Black Rover deck that, and shout out to Chid 3 too, and nothing against Caleb Cannon, but I know he came up with the Storm deck like within seconds at the same time. I mean, you'd have to have like a mirror universe to see who officially, and they were very different lists, but I think the volume that Caleb gets, everybody just assumed it was all him, and it's like Chid 3 gets a lot of credit. He's proven himself over and over again, not just with Storm either. He's been able to branch off a bit. But yeah, I was saying on Facebook, my favorite, one of my old favorites being, that's fine because we've got Survivors Encampment. I mean, it slows us down a little bit, but slows them down just doing it. Rallygon was like a breakthrough. Won a few challenges. Methodical, did some great things with it. And then Boros Bully went on the map and stuff. But I think this is my next big thing if there is one. I'd put it up against either of those. Might not be feeling it right now. 1, 2, 3. That kind of sucks. It's probably better to just hold back for this. Let's just make sure. Yeah, that costs 2. All right. Now, a bit of a tell here. I'm just going to attack with my dudes here. I'm going to keep back our anti-red Tricknology and Hydroblast. Hey-ya. Here we go. And those of you keeping track of my quest to fitness or whatever you want to call it, I'm at about 184 now, so I'm a good, 26 pounds down from where I was. Crazy. How did I get? Is he going to bolt that? So we're running into a lot of mana issues here. It's to be expected. One's okay. Yeah. Still a ways. Here we go. All right. Well, we're going to take this and we're going to use it against him. Huzzah! Boink. Nope. Trying to get a little 2-for-1 action here. Kills that. Our dude's really dead. Bonk. Bye-bye, Skyfish. Doing quite a bit with a lot of little. Get that on a t-shirt. Doing quite a bit with a lot of little. Pauperganda. There's another one. We've got tricks for days, folks. Step right up. Now, this is telling. Prism. Good. Radiant Fountain, Desperation. Radiant Fountain, Desperation. Do they have just prisms in their hand? Is that maybe why you do that? They're only 15. I don't have them that bad. Cool. 3 lightning bolts down. 1 has gotten through. That's fine. There comes the land. Their life is being reset well. That's what she said. Detono, nice to hear from you. I think that's your first time. Please chime in more often. I'm not quite sure what that's in reference to, but... Oh, no diet. I keep correcting my friends on that. I'm like, there's no diet. It's just, it's more of just a way of thinking. Noom, anyway. I wouldn't even have tried it if my brother wasn't so, having such great results. He was a different father, a lot just heavier than I am, and he was getting within, like, dangerously close to, like, where I was. I was like, oh, I got to get myself in gear here. This quarantine, that was a diet, a quarantine diet. I was wake up, eat too much, do it again at lunch, and then have a few too many in the evening. So nothing wrong with that in moderation, but I was taking it to a bit of an extreme. You watch the news, you get bummed out, state of the world, so you have another one. So I decided, kick myself in gear, use the time wisely, try to make not a goal. Goals come and go. I wanted a quest. And it really does kind of reteach you to the whole meal plan. So look at this. We're doing okay, and we got 1 land. Our opponent's, swimming in them. So I think we're going to scoop here pretty soon if we don't draw into something. But we can really come back strong here. I mean, look at our hand. There's part of it. Let's see if we can do this. We'll go blue, bing, pow, beep. And Ornithopters maybe would be nice. That's okay. Because now next turn we can Hawk, return, Thoughtcast, something. You'd be surprised. We might be able to pull this one off. Really need Agent of Stronghold on MTGO. Do you mean the Avatar? Or I'm not getting the reference there, Cardbreaker. Oh, what's that? Doesn't that pay a life and it stops a black spell if my old 1990s memory is working? Yeah, they got a lot of air power. We got a lot of air power. Ours is superior in that we've got a 3/3 naturally, but they got the numbers right now, so we might be going down in a blaze here. I thought the agent. Well, there was an agent I had in my sideboard in White Weenie for a while. You could pay a life and like stop a black spell or something. Ah, okay. All right, so we're taking 4 here. We're in the teens. And our opponent has 2 cards. All right, here we go. Let's lead off with this, because it's just free mana at this stage. We don't need any weird little cute tricks of returning something that costs 2 and then doing it 8 times more to draw all of 1 or 2 cards. So we've got a few options here. We've already played a land. I'm just going to invest right now. We'll go get some more cards. Cool. I can take down a Skyfisher with this play. Or I could take down... I want to be aggro. Kind of obvious what we drew here. Cool. Now they think, was I a sucker just then? Did I take 1 for no reason? Just the threat of the tooth. Threat of the tooth. Sounds like a bad comic book from the 80s. One or 2 land spy. Yeah, you probably won't ever see me playing that or Storm much. I could play it, but I got to focus too much to be kind of an entertaining host. Aggro's in my blood, even confusing aggro like BruteSquad here. I think the number 1 rule with BruteSquad, if somebody picks it up and just like, oh, this is interesting, go really slow the first 2 turns. Odds are you missed 3 plays. Just the ordering of what to do, when, how, and then you like at the end of this turn, how much damage did you have on the board or creatures, and then compare it. And you got to kind of rethink the wheel a little bit there. Whew, boy, they're playing like, that's usually how many creatures I have out. What's going on here? Oh yeah, look at the graveyard. Blast, bolt, bolt, bolt. We're both in the teens, feeling all right. I don't think they have any more removal. Oh, all right. Well, that'll help. I'm going to be taking about 7 here. Can't block. Woo! Nimchimsky! Keeping a low profile. All right. 1-1 against Boros. Time's about even. All right. Let's do some stuff here. I'm going to keep that tooth as a surprise factor. I'm going to bring this back. We're going to return our land. Yep, we'll bring this back. We'll play this. We'll do this just because we can use this for 1 now. I've got a big old fatty here. And we're going to go get some more fat here. And we've already played a land. We're kind of stuck in the mud a little bit here. We're at a life total now where I've got to respect the air power a bit. The ground's kind of shored up. They've got removal. We're going to see it, that's for sure. So next turn we're probably going to zap their fish, trade with the hawk, and then a journey next turn their skyfisher. What are they bringing back? Prism, yep. Getting tiny little advantages, as is the way. Old schoolers out there will know this deck is Boros Kitty, because Turbo Kitty 3000 was the inventor of the hybrid that became it. That's lost to the ashes of history. Last I talked with Boros Kitty, Turbo Kitty 3000, he was in, I think, the Indonesian islands training to be a kickboxer. Been a while. Does anybody know when you look at your buddy list, when things are grayed out, does that mean the person like hasn't been on for what, a year, whatever? It seems to be a correlation, like, or their account's dead or something like that. Very strange. Well, we've got some options here. I think I'll block one of them. He doesn't have any removal, so that's really good news. Let me kill one of them. I'll keep one alive. Let's see what goes down here. We're within 2 cards of them. Our mana's going to be right, even if they get like a Gorilla Shaman right now is actually bad because of the Den Clue combo, and we can't really do much with it later, but as the game goes on, it doesn't get that bad. This might, let's see, oh, he needs 1 for that. That's fine. If he saw our hand, he probably wouldn't do that, but hey, that's magic, right? Okay. Here we go with this. We've got that. We can pull off... I think I'm going to leave Of One Mind in hand, and we're just going to lean on getting rid of a Skyfisher here. And that'll be it. Kind of a boring turn. Probably go after our seat, which is frustrating, but you know, this deck only needs 1 land to work, and if we do have 1 mind and we find a drum, that'll be good times too. I think Ancient Grudge is better against this than the Gorilla Shaman. Obviously early Gorilla Shaman's awesome, but ooh boy, what an aggro play this is, huh? Well, let's do the obvious. We're going to block here and here and here. And then we'll go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like we're going to a game 3. That's nice. I'll pull this off on here. He's probably got more artifact damage, and then we're going to lose our Ardent Recruit, but all right. I got another one? Nope. We're going to eat double Galvanic Blast to the face here. Now is when we kind of want a Gingerbrute. It's like, hey, guy, I need a bite of a cookie. Rather take out the Skyfisher. It's harder to kill. They both hit for 2. Don't forget the tooth, my friend. All right. That dude shows up. That sucks. Well, we've got multiple mana. Uh-oh. We don't have a non-critter, though. So that sucks. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that blows right there. Let me do a... I'll go for white. Crack the clue, crack the clue. Probably should have dropped another encampment, maybe? I'll just leave it at that. All right, low enough life. I'm just going to play up. That's all right, sure. That's what I was talking about. There's a lot of things to be staring at. And if our mana was unmolested, we'd be able to be tripping these clues, and we'd be about... Well, we'd probably be up on cards by about 1 or 2 from our opponent, but as it sits, we're dead to a lightning bolt here. But he's already seen Hallow and Hydroblast, so I think they might be a little hesitant to do that. Now, here's a scenario. Obviously, Prismatic is good here. What do we have? Boy, they're going all in with this anti-artifact campaign. I would have used that if it was pre-combat, but all right. Cool. Oh, hopefully they just overboarded. We don't have many turns left to find out. Bring this dude out. We don't have really anything to do with that. We're going to take 2. Gosh, we're just like dead. I think attacking here makes a little bit of sense. We can block 3. It's at 23 life. Yeah. So bringing in 3 Ancient Grudge, that's what, 6 hate cards that we've seen so far with the flashback included. So considering we still have enough mana to do stuff with, it is hindering us a bit. I think mostly losing that Glint Hawk was kind of a pain in the butt. Well, EOT, crack a clue and hope that we're still alive next turn. I don't think we will be. Where are our Sunchasers? We're halfway through our deck. Not too brutal with the encampments. Like I said, other than hard casting one of these, everything costs 1 or 2, so we're all right. Crack the clue. Oh, come on, enough of the drama. You either have a bolt or you don't. It's like these hold for the drum roll. just there. All right, so we can't really do much here. I mean, we can play. Now we do have a non-human creature. Yet another awesome zing for Flayer Husk. That's awesome. And now we can play this. Yeah, this is probably the best option to tap. Here comes Of One Mind. Well, we're 1 away from having a blocker. Let's see if we get an Ornithopter. We could still pull that off. But now we're running up against crucial... yeah. All right, well, that's... I will say this, in my league, it's 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, so there's always a round like that. It's one of those go first decks, right? Hallow... yeah, I'm not too impressed, especially now that we've seen so much artifact hate in this matchup. So normally I do like that 1-3 split, but I'm going to go all 4 just because of the Ancient Grudge. We'll have an option. It can kill a, what do you call, Gorilla Shaman and such. We didn't really see much along the way of Ring, so I'm going to bring out a Ring and bring in my second Journey. Lower our curve just a little bit, like this deck needs it, right? And we'll go like that and see what's going to happen. Boop! Ahoy, man. Just can't get enough of this coffee. And for me, that's impressive. This is actually one of the decks I didn't want to see today, not because I've got a bad matchup. It's about 50-50 against good pilots, but it's just so long. Boros is quite the grind. All right, I kind of like this hand. Yeah, I'm going to keep this hand. This is a good example. We can do this, Husk, Drum. Now, if I was going to get against black, you want to lean on the Drum first, but I'm going to lean on having a critter out. Actually, no, I'm going to do a Drum because if he bolts it and understands the deck, that as days go by, that's slowly becoming the thing here. So even here, let's say that they've got 1 mana removal and the Drum goes down. Well, we're able to play the Husk off the encampment and we still have options. So this took a lot of beatings to get to this stage. So please, at your own peril, decide whether you think this is a, like, I'm not going to play Flayer Husk. How stupid. 1 drop for 1/1. It's like, well, it's not a human. It activates 8 other cards and it makes the fuel of the deck go better. Oh, in mid to late game, it makes everything stronger and better. And the same could be said for, ooh, look at this play. what do you call, Gingerbrute. Haste, life, avoidance, good times. How many of us have done this? All right. Well, a little bit of a rage quit there, but you know what? I'm going to go get some coffee. That was a long one. And I'm going to show you guys my oldest buddy. I think I was 5 or 6 years old when I met him. My goal eventually is a selfish one. I want to be surrounded on Pauperganda by all my best friends and their voices. And they all have pretty decent, everybody's got the option to record themselves anymore and stuff. So as the commercials roll out, I think we're on like number 40. Can you imagine that? Jeez. If I had to do that all from scratch, it would be quite a few months. But anyway, hope you enjoy Fire and... Hold on, let me make sure my mic's right. Ice. Be right back, guys.
Our ingredients have historic roots. Our water combines the spreading seas of Zendikar with the rushing rivers of Ixalan. Our grain is harvested from windswept heaths under Amonkhet's nourishing second sun. From the russet wolf potatoes to the straw golem berries, each piece of our mystical puzzle is then blessed by the order of the Ebon Hand, transmuting our prismatic ingredients into a magical elixir that is then held for 5 Teferi time twists. Then, our Balduvian brew mages carefully select only the finest examples, which are then exiled within our patented guild-packed glass. Introducing Jaya's hot and spicy chili vodka and Jace's refreshing ice gin. Fire and ice. Experience your opposite. Available at all Sing Here superstores.
The liquids have returned, at least in the coffee form, and we are back. Hopefully we get some good opponents here. Let's run over. I've been noticing too, both in the leagues and online, I think it might be because Arena has a Pauper event now. I probably shouldn't even say that because I like this setup, but yeah, there's something to do with Arena. I'm actually going to fire it up for the first time in about 10 months and see what the deal is. I guess there's pre-con decks that you can play in Arena, but it goes to show you. They're seeing the love. We're going to say keep this. We love this hand. Final Flourish. Done it. How'd you guys like Fire and Ice? It's our longest one by far. I was looking at a lot of just whether it be car commercials or whatnot. Sometimes they go on these tangents and they just kind of brag about everything, and it's this experience, and as opposed to just a 30-second hard in and out commercial. So trying to mix it up a little bit. Hopefully y'all appreciated that. Okay, so here's a great scenario, right? A lot of people go, I'm going to play Inspector, Ornithopter. Well, the right play is this, into this, and then that. Who said Metalcraft was hard to get? Woo! All right. Yeah, there's so many issues. You know, it's funny when you look at that stirring system. I spent probably an hour on that just for those tiny little crystals in there because I went back and forth. I had a little universe effect that made it look a little too Harry Pottery. And I didn't want it to be, is that an adjective now, Harry Pottery? I didn't want it to be one of those things. So I wanted to be more subtle. I didn't like a George Lucas effect, as I'm fond of calling it. So I just kept going back and forth, and I ended up having to double layer the thing, put a lens flare, oppose it on 2 different layers, key out the stir, key out the shadows, it was just, and then I nested it. It's like an 8 video effect, and it looks like just went with a little effect, but anyway. The day in the life of editing. Old Glenfiddich distilleries in Ireland, seen it all. Nice, yeah. Woo. Woo! All right. So here's another scenario. We're gonna lead off with our with this, and we're not done yet because all of our creatures have haste. At least when the Bird of Paradise Persuasion, we'll just do that and do that. One of my favorite things to run up against with this deck is discard. I just love it. They're just like, I'm gonna sit here and hold my discard for the rest of the turn, and then draw another one later. I can feel against mono black when they're holding Chittering Rats and they're just like, damn it, hold on to a card so I can. It's like, nope. I'll clue at the end of turn. Thank you very much, and exhaust my hand. Ooh, spicy goodness. Naya Hushblade. Everybody be quiet. We gotta call it the Naya Golf Speak here in the States, or I guess anywhere really. Golfers tend to. So we're coming up on the third turn here. Deluxe Golf looks like he's looking for a hole-in-one. Oh, he's really got a gem there. That Shroud's not going to do much unless they have an instant, what's the Kithkin? The Flash with the Azorius colors? That might save him here. Sorry. All right. I'm just going to do this to go. Oh, aggro. Cool thing about running Ornithopters as opposed to having great blockers against Delver and never letting ninjas even become a thing is if they have some sort of trick where they kill their own dude, you can just nab a Thopter. We don't have Skyfishers. I think they're too slow for this build, and I love Skyfish. Oh! We were just talking about Rage Quitters. That's frustrating. We're just going to jump right in. We won't even call that one. All right. Create. I should say no quitters, but maybe next week I'll put that on there. But I think, forget who was making that point earlier, but well said. Sometimes you do run into that. All right. I'm going to go over the list here as we're waiting for, hopefully, our next victim. We've got, like I said, 13 lands. I was finding in my old build that I just had too many lands, and so I didn't have much to do with them. That's why I leaned on Perilous Research last week. I knew that wasn't the answer, but it felt good sometimes, so I was like, it'll lead me to one. But in the end, you know, we're using quite a bit. Whoa, check out that. That's a neat little display. Woo, I like when those little errors happen. All right, let's see what happens here. But you've always got something to do with your mana. Great example. I'm so glad this hand happened. Yes, I want a white mana early, but look at this. We don't really... Well, actually, we do need it. I thought this was a drum. Never mind. But even if we do keep this, we've got 3 plays that we can go with. I'm not going to keep this because I thought this was a drum. I'm going to mulligan. We will keep this. 1, 2, 3 artifacts. We've got this. We've got this. Ooh, boy, I just like everything here. You know, I think we lose... the plane. Yep. Isn't that crazy? Done. What would it be to have you go back to doing leagues? You put in so much work into the show and it seems worth it. Yeah, but it's not really because we were just getting ghosted at such a high rate that it was like, well, it's inaccurate. Like a deck like this, go like 1-4, and it's like, well, what? And then find out 3 of the matches somebody was ghosting or whatever, and it's trying to do it. And I'm happy to play somebody's build, like I say on those promos. If you put up the tickets, no problem. You just need to know going in, anybody streaming there at about a 10 to 15% more puntability rate. And so, you know, there's nothing to sneeze at. That kind of, especially now I've been unemployed so long and stuff, here to showcase new ideas and stuff. It's actually been pretty advantageous overall, this style, but we'll see. I think there's just no real... God, we did that for years, just playing... Hold on a minute here. The human gets us that. That's one, but we've only got 2. I'm going to play the Husk here. I can EOT the Tooth, just because this figure might be a thing here. Yeah, Hand Hider. We went over that when it was first brought to our attention about all that stuff. There's no right now real elegant way of doing it without really hurting show quality and doing what we like to do, which is showcase new decks. It's not really about me and my tournament record. And to tell you the truth, I do miss playing them when I'm in them, but when I'm out of them, I'm just kind of like, hey, good times, you know. It really brings back the kid wonder in me as far as brewing and stuff like that goes. And for every, you know, person you get that will kind of rage quit or whatever, there's plenty of amazing matchups I get. All right, Totally agree, Ticklebush. Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing that. Just ridiculous. Okay, let's draw some cards here. We're gonna bring out our human. It just really, other than my own like pat on the back ego or like, hey, look what this did. It really doesn't do anything. It's kind of a moot point. Okay, well we've got this and that. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. I almost want to play the encampment here. We won't. We'll play this because we still need the one for that. And you know what? I'll attack with this. Let's go. Happy to take out your little afterlife dude if you want to go that route. The germs and the gingerbread are such good blockers, and then they just turn into things later. God, I love this deck. Gonna bring out a tooth. A germ with a tooth. That's pretty scary. Sounds like something right out of an Aliens movie, right? Yeah, one of the drawbacks of the show being on long enough people hearing about it, is that we were getting sniped just left and right. And so I'm glad. I forget who it was, but it was like it was almost a coordinated effort. There was like 3 or 4 in a week that were just like, hey, yeah, definitely notice that, blah, 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 so-and-so's on. I'm just like, whoa, it's all news to me. It's all about the format and the audience, not me. So hopefully I've answered, I guess, questions enough. Vigilance. You know, I read that and I didn't even register it. For some reason, I thought that said, like, what's that, extort? Because here's that example of my nothing against this person, but the terminate logic, right? I mean, this, with the oligarch, it makes a little bit of sense, right? You've got the right color creatures and stuff, but they're going black-white. But it's like you can play a Nightstyle Mimic in an all-white deck. You can play it in an all-black deck. You can't play these in those, and you can't play Terminate in those. And now Terminate outside of what? A River Boa? You're not going to have much reason to play it. All right. Well, we don't really care about this. Let's Thoughtcast first. Hey, look at that. Wow. Well, if you're going to draw a bunch of junk, that's the good kind of junk. Let's we'll rub it in further. I've one mind. Cool. Wow, boy, we've got a really nice setup here, don't we? God, there's just so many options. Should I attack first? Should I do this first? Should I draw even more cards first? Let's bring this dude out, and then we'll just have one mind again. Having fun yet? I'm glad this is happening because it gets to kind of show off the deck's just kapow power. I mean, this thing just can explode. Aggro's always viable because of those, punishing hands where people are just like, I think this is good enough, and then who's not been there, right? Red deck one just runs you over and you're holding Prismatic Strands and no way to do it, or COP, whatever. But when you add that firepower to double mana flexibility that's very consistent because of Encampment and Drum and the synergy of artifacts and stuff, and then you get the reset hand ability that we just saw. Let's look at our graveyard. 2, 4, 6, 8 cards. We're up almost 10 cards from our opponent. It's nuts. Now watch, they're going to Evankar's Justice and we're just fall over. But this deck does a great impression of OG Affinity of Modern. Love to see it spew its hand out. Yeah, Oval 819. Good to hear from you, and thank you for chiming in. Sorry, your over-caffeinated host is going a bit crazy here. All right, we need to journey fast. Oh, I guess we don't. For some reason, I was thinking this is more like, that's the thing I was worried about. I think I would have waited to put Edge of Divinity on that, especially against aggro. They're trying to race us. I'm very happy with that. That's fine. Nah, not so much, but our teeth can deal with that. I'm going to take 9. Might be proven wrong here, but I'm going to be able to take down anything here. We can block next turn. We've got the draw options. Wouldn't that be funny? We lose this one. Very cool. All right, first things first, I want to get out my big flying critter. And before I go too much longer, I'm going to draw some cards. No problem. Hey, there's some life gainers, right? Woo! All right, well, let's see what we're going to do here. If I had one more mana, I love blocking life linkers and then sacking them to gain life with the Gingerbrute. That's such a nice little play. As it sits, we can block with the Husk. All right, let's try and make this a bit of a race. Boop, boop, boop. At least we can kill that Mimic, hopefully, unless they just go Nova with another Edge of Divinity. In that case, what is going to beat that? We'll see. Now, this is a great scenario, Prismatic Strands. It's like, yeah, cost 3. Most of our creatures are white. We've got enough that aren't, though, so it's very useless against us, very beneficial for us, and being that it's game 2 and 3, we always can side out Flayer Husks, 1 or 2 of them, to make room for our one of our favorite cards. I don't understand this outside of a mutagenic growth play. Okay. They're losing 4 permanents to our 2.5, I'd call it, because these just keep resetting. And another thing, next turn we get him again. Or if we got a Glint Hawk, we get him again. The same is not true with Bone Splitter. We'd have to use crucial mana to get it back. Okay, so you got a flyer. I get that. Well, we're probably going to have to block one of those. So I'm going to tap this for white. We'll bring this dude out. Now that I messed up a little bit. I should have played Gingerbrute first and then tapped it in case that this just comes over and we can block here and here. Very rare scenario, but we've got enough mana here for this is flooding for this deck, so we're going to just sit back and chill. But yeah, back to the league questions. About every, 4 or 5 months now, I'll just enter one and see if I still got it. Usually 3-2 or better. Like I said, right now, this build is 3-0, so that's at least what I'm going to do. But I got to be careful. I got to stay passionate. That's really, it sounds goofy. It's really a key for me. If I'm fired up on a deck, I tend to do really good with it. And it could be the exact same set that somebody 0-4'd with or something. It's just how it rolls. I don't know if any of you are like that. I mean, I would think like I watch when I'm having just kind of a sour day and I'm like, I didn't really make any misplays there, but it just lost again. And very strange when that happens. All right, so they're drawing their first 2 cards outside of the draw step, and it's costing them, or is it against us? Oh, it's costing them 2 life, whereas we've drawn 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 cards, and we're feeling pretty good. And we've got, hey, look at this. Okay, well, those are kind of interesting. Lifelink and Extort. I think against this build, I'm going to keep these guys back and just trip them for life. I could trip 1 for 3 life and do the rest. I don't want to keep too many back here. Let's go in like this. Yeah. I got the Gingerbrute trick. People keep giving this thing as much love as they've been giving it. Maybe I'll just keep playing it week after week. Just kidding. Try not to. All right. We've got a draw effect. We can gain quite a bit of life. Actually, I'm going to bring out the other surprise cookie. And if you look closely, we can trip them both because of Drum and the Germ. But be careful. I've run into this a few times where I think like, oh, I'll tap the Gingerbrute for mana and sacrifice. No, you have to tap it as an effect. Unless you're doing the haste thing, you got to be careful. So that extra Germ is very important. But I like these kind of plays. I mean, it's not that big of a secret what we're trying to do here, but they might have just enough to kill us with 1 activation, but maybe not 2. Uh-oh, that's scary. Extort showing up. I'm glad we're seeing this deck. That's another nod towards non-league stuff. You get plenty of serious decks in the metagame, but you also get people not afraid to at least try something where it's not costing them $10. Okay. We'll trip this to stay alive. And do we trip the other thing to stay alive? 1, 2, 3. He's only got 1 blocker. Okay. I'm going to go to 3. Hey, Atlantis TV. Good to see you. It's been a while. All right. Here we are playing my favorite deck, BruteSquad. My favorite deck since Boros Bully. All right. Well, I'm going to draw some cards here. Don't I have a clue? There it is. Get confused with all these artifacts to look at. Give me a card, like we need more, right? He's got to run out of this synergy here. Good grief. Okay, this might do it. We've got 3, 4. I can't really go too all in with that plan. And you know, with this mana and the tricks of that, I want to keep this back. So what I'm going to do here is go like... I'd really like to keep that. Let's do a germ. And now, folks, I will play the Hawk into the Tooth. Yes. Cool, after you block 2, you can get a creature back too. It's a lot better than drawing a card in some cases. We'll do this. I'll keep 2 up. If I draw right now off the clue, we have to keep 2 up. All right, let's attack. We've got 1, 2, 3 blockers. I want to go like this. Let's go. Yep, consider that too. Just not enough mana. I gotta respect that. I want to keep Gingerbrute in the race here. Lifelink Extort. Afterlife's gonna be a thing, but we do have a blocker now. I'm fine with that dying. That's not going to die. Let's power this dude up. If I had another attacker like a Ornithopter, that's why I like to not have to go all in, because if they've got like a disfigure here, it really sucks. Now we've got 2 mana for 3 life, so be at 6, and then we can trip the clue EOT, so we'll do that. Afterlife shows up. That'd be so cool if it triggered the Mimic, but it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, you could argue you could equip a germ onto the Glint Hawk. I don't really want it to be that big of a target. Damn spirits keeping our blockers at bay. Let's see what's going to happen here. So you can see how like Prismatic right now doesn't really do much. A lot of decks running Prismatic have white creatures to block with, so if they call no white, well then all of our germs and artifacts get through. Pillory? No! That's an expensive card, and it's going to do some damage here. Why couldn't they have put that on a germ token or a Gingerbrute, darn it. Alright, not much we can do up against that. Ooh, boy, I think they're going to take this game 1. This will be very close. Extort showing up. I can only block 1 of those. Okay. Yeah, this is when you do wish you had a Skyfisher, right? I'm sorry, I'll take a Pillory of the Sleepless Loss any day if I can beat the rest of the metagame pretty handedly. Well, I could trip Brute, be at 1 life. And then I die, so I have to block this. Gotta remember, Pillory will kill me at my upkeep if I don't block. Glad I didn't punt that. Let's block. Let's block something. Bad David Bowie ripoff. Come on. That's right, Journeyer Ring, and to that end we will draw some cards. Let's see what we get. That's not very helpful. At this stage, I'm going to kill my Cookie Man right now. Tap that, this, and we'll just do this now. 3 life's a little more important than squeaking through with 1, especially these all happen at instant speed, so here we go. And with 13 lands, what happens? We start getting a little flooded. Is there any stipulations on this if I equip it? Nope. All right. Now, who can beat an encampment in hand? That's brutal. So best case scenario, if they don't block, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can't do anything about that. We haven't seen much removal. Let me just, this is like the least favorable thing here, just because we already have a human that's not going anywhere. They're not going to remove it. So if I do draw another of one mind, there's only one left in the deck, but I'm trying to think out loud. So if they've got a double spell, we're dead. Oh, I like this. Okay. Maybe they don't because of that play, huh? All right, keeping things fresh. Hopefully we can kill a mimic, or they just don't attack. Fat chance. We've seen a look at their graveyard. It's just littered with a rainbow of black and white. Do they have it? They do. We lose. Off to game 2. Good times. So, let me see. That was here we go. All right. Well, Prismatic's definitely going to show up here. We really like Journey and Oblivion Ring so much so I don't know if it's worth bringing in a third. I'm just going to leave it where it's at. Hallow's not going to do anything against this list. Neither is Hydroblast. Faerie Macabre, we haven't really seen any graveyard recursion. And Harsh Sustenance, if you like this deck, most of you in the chat do, you really need to realize that this is good against Tron, of course, but it's also very good against walls. Well, there I go again. It's not very good. It's decent against walls and Axebane Guardian, EOT, that sort of thing, because we don't have that many like journey effects. I mean, we have 4. I guess that's enough, including the rings and stuff, but this really puts it over the top while being synergistic against other matchups. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, I'm going to take out a Husk and a Brute because we're bringing in Prismatic, so I kind of want to lean a little less on that. Ornithopters may shine here, as will the Tooth, because we saw a lot. Orzhov, unfortunately, has a lot of 1 toughness backside. Unfortunately for them, good for us. So now I need to lean on one last thing here. I actually think I might lose a... What to lose? I'm going to lose 1 more Husk. We'll rock like that. Woo! Hey, Cardbreaker, good to see you, and thank you. Sorry, I'm reading in reverse. As always, see you at the same time, same place next week. Digital. All right, here we go. Woo, man, I've been talking too much. Look at my time. Mulligan. That's an easy one. Yuck. Mulligan. Are we going to lose to Orzhov? All right. Lotigan. We've got lots of cards here. Not much to do with it. We'll keep this. Get rid of this. This. Done. Okay. I'm just going to go aggro here. Got to play what it gives you. Never do this against black or red without at least 2 targets. We didn't see any removal, and their flyers are about turn 3 and on, so we're going to hope that we can just kind of bum rush them here. Ideal right now would probably be like a Thraben Inspector to the den so that of 1 mind can be triggered the next turn with the encampment bonus, but we'll see. Don't like that. Lifelink's so underrated. Hey, maybe I should shove those in there. That's white. It's a hag. It's not a human. Woo! Am I crazy? Should I do that? I think I should. I'm going to go crazy. Boink! We're going to go the all aggro route. We only need 1 land. We'll be fine. Watch this. Ha! Now, if they put a... if that becomes a 4/4 lifelink, I think this is going to be GG unless we really quickly draw into a Journey to Nowhere. That's what we all love about Magic, though, right? The deck is aggressive and just nasty as this one, and something crazy, weird rogue can take it down. At least in game 1. His man is right, or hers. Castigate. Sometimes I like the... I don't know if I'd bring that in against me, seeing how quickly I can empty my hand. Just a dead card otherwise, but one of the more powerful ones, that's for sure. But it also reveals a lot about your opponent, too. depending on what they grab. What are they afraid of? What do they respect? These are all things you should consider. My volume's up too high. I can hear my headset about 10 feet away. He doesn't like my card draw. What a jerk. All right. I'll take that play any day of the week. Here we go. Booyah. Let's just make sure. That costs 2. All right. Bit slow of study over here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I really want to see a journey. I don't like that. That lifelink does funny things to magic math. So yeah, I like the Ornithopter's got some neat stuff. It's so susceptible to electricity style things to be kind of a metagame call. And Pillory the Sleepless. That's a lot of mana to keep something out with so many things. Definitely some better options. Speak of cast down, right? That would just be better. Wouldn't have the synergy of turning on the 4/4s and such, but at some point, a lot of times in a brew, you really need to consider that. So here's where normally this deck would just fall apart, right? But I mean, look at our hand. We're fine with that. I mean, it's not great, but think about it. Custom that turn, that card, and we've got every color in our hand, unless they're running Ice Quake or Choking Sands or something, and they find another swamp and see how the scenarios build. All right. I'm happy as long as I don't see those turn into 4/4 lifelinkers, but right now they've neutered one of our Hawks. That's cool. I think I'm just going to play this just so I can definitely power these both out next turn. I'll go in like this. Yeah, now don't get me wrong. I think in maybe 10, 15 years, there'll be kind of like a stab wound style deck. I remember I built one like that way back in like 96, 95 that had like Wanderlust. That's what I did not want to see, damn it. All right. Now the race math goes really funky. We can kill it. We can kill it surprisingly too. We can keep back a Glint Hawk and trade, but they're still going to reset their entire life, and we're going to be in the low teens. They're going to be in close to 20. If anybody else sees it, we flash both teeth out as a blocker next turn. Not as offense, but... Right, so let me just make sure. This will cost 2. Dang it, but we can't do that because we'll only have 2 out, and then we're going to need the rest of them for the other thing. Shoot. Well, there's no trick really here. Being that we don't have 3, I was thinking we could power them both out, block, trade, and then reset. But as it sits now, I don't think we're going to be doing that. I'm just going to come over for 1. I'm just going to keep this MO of having a creature backed. Build up the subterfuge here a little bit. Got nothing to worry about. The tooth is being used. Next turn, however, anything can block these two. I mean, if I get a Gingerbrute out, I can block, sack it, gain 3 life. They don't gain any, and then buy us another turn. But speak of the devil, there it is. Doing what I love players to do to me, proving me wrong. And don't learn otherwise. Pillory taking game 1 and maybe game 2. Who would have thought? What's weak against this deck? Pillory. And we're at 8. Come on, deck. Show up, please. All right. Yeah, we can double block there, and that's okay. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to sit back, and hopefully he doesn't have another Pillory. Now what's cool here is we can say if we do have Prismatic Math available, or he makes us discard, we can call black here if you're new to Magic. Even though the creatures are black and white, it'll still work. Some interesting scenario. Oh, that really blows. Okay, that's the death knell right there. So I know we can't double block. I can block here, Shiraz, again, the tooth, I mean, little fight, and then play the tooth at flash speed, double activate it, and trade. But this journey is going to send us back, and Why can't I single block? I could have before the journey, and I could have traded. Journey to game over, yes. Well said. Now, right, with my final flourish, little dig at players that try to go like, hey, look what I had. I'm going to do it. Watch this. Hey, check this out. You almost fell for this. It's a final flourish. The show wouldn't be complete without it. And we're down to 2. And we have this. We can get some stuff going here. Check this out. Play a blue. You kill our dude. That's cool. He's going to turn into a bird of paradise, sucker. Woo-hoo. Look at me. I'm swimming now. Ornithopters? No. Come on. Can I get an Ornithopter or 3? Yeah, we're dead if he just double attacks. Yeah, because that's loss of life. I can't do a journey at the beginning of the turn yet. So if he just double attacks here, I don't think many people will miss that. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, don't attack. Give me a chance. I got the Gingerbrute. That Pillory's going to make a liar out of me. That loss of life's not going to do nothing with that. Oh, okay. Interesting. Got 3 more? Oh, that kind of blows. There goes our win con with Gingerbrute. Win con. Our survive con. Let's see that in San Diego. Yes, Cash Override. I have tried it. The very first card that came and went was that Mer Enforcer. And the also the blue Hexproof and the 3/2 drone flyer. Like I bitingly said in one of my Facebook posts, it's like, yeah, that card you're thinking about, I tried it. Happy to hear ideas, but pretty rare. Comes over with both, I scoop. I mean, I scoop otherwise, right? Yeah. Good game. That was cool, man. All right. Well, that's the first time in about, I guesstimate 17 games this is lost. And it was a LL too. What went wrong? That's to be decided at a later date. All right, we're going to jump right in here. And actually, you know what? We're going to roll about, I'm going to use the restroom and get another brew. About, 15 months back, Odin Makes is a great YouTube channel. Guy does a lot of cosplay stuff, and he reached out to me. We go way back, worked together way back in 97, 98. And for a great place called Play TV, and he was the prop master for a cool Star Trek spoof show that we did. He's noticing themes here. Anyway, great guy, has an amazing YouTube channel. He's a great editor. He did Bone Splitter for us. We incorporated it into the show, all this other stuff. But it's like a 20-minute long episode. So with his permission, I grabbed it, reduced it, still plugging his show. Good times. Go check him out. He's awesome. Way better than me. But anyway, this is Odin Makes. I'll be right back after a little quick break.
Bone Splitter Axe. I'm actually very happy with how well the texture of the Bondo turned out, and I'm pleased that it stuck as well as it did to the plastic dip, because I really wasn't sure on that. Now, I'm a little concerned about the wooden shaft and the wooden point for some cons, but for most, I'm sure those will be just fine. But I think it looks awesome. What do you think?
Wow. Odin, amazing job as usual. But hey, why don't we put it back where it belongs so we can go play with it finally?
And that's how Odin makes.
Attention Pauperganda Knights! Show your love of all things Pauper with our Ultra Deluxe Playmats. And true to our Pauper roots, the glorious artwork is 100% free.
Trying to give these guys everything they can get. I mean, that's it.
Just send an email to pauperganda@gmail.com with the subject 1, 2, or 3, and we'll send you the playmat file for free.
I gotta read it again because my mind is just a piece of shit this morning.
All you need to do is visit our friends at inkgaming.com. Order yours today.
The luxury of Brindleburgers will stay with you for life. Dripping slabs of succulent swine. Never sacrifice flavor. Wait, what? Get Brindley!
And we're back. We're going to keep this. Love this kind of hand. Say okay here. I don't know where Delver's been hiding. And we're probably going to see the cast down and some bone pickers here. This suggests that our opponent has maybe 2 swamps. Don't want to miss their 3rd drop. That's my guess anyway. Or a Sign in Blood with a swamp, and they're paying their dues early, tapping it out. I'm cooking brindle burgers tonight. Yeah, good times. Again, we lead with the drum, and we have Ornithopters. This is the kind of game when I love when they have like Guest's Verdict and Chainer's Edicts. It's like, okay, have fun with that. So we can Thoughtcast here. Pretty crazy, right? Turn 1 Thoughtcast. Doesn't do us too much here. I'm going to lean on just getting a critter out. We'll do it next turn. Get Brindley! Doesn't make any sense, but it does in promo world, right? All right. Never forget, you can attack with Gingerbrute. You can block other Gingerbrutes. I ran into that the other day. I was like, what? Our mana's right, our creatures are right. I like this scenario. We've got access to every color and 2 sources on turn 1 with 2 flyers and an unblockable that gains life. Not a bad first turn, followed by resetting our hand and killing anything that moves with Journey. Good times. Wouldn't know it by last game, but hey, it's about time this thing crashed and burned. And I'm very glad it was against Rogue and a cool build. So whoever that was, congrats. But I have a feeling if we played 10 more games, I'd probably get 9 of them. Here we are. All right. Oh, man. One of the other things I really like is playing against land destruction with this. Cool. All right. Game over. What's fun is like I'll have 1 den and a Glint Hawk, and I just keep returning it. It happened the other day. It was really fun. This is it. Mono Black LD. Game 4 as we're going into this thing here. And here we go. We got this and that, and I'll just play this. Got to watch out a little bit for that one, Rancid Earth, in about 5 or 6 more turns, but till then we'll be all right. We'll bring out the drum. See how effective land destruction is against this point. Hey, it's your Toronto opponent from Finals, Seattle's Rags. Hey, Tim the Wilder, great. How are you liking the format these days? Yeah, this build looks powerful-ish for sure. Oh yeah, no, I really like this build, and I think Tron's still the problem. You'd know best. You had that really cool lightning bolt combo, and I think, like I was just saying that last game, would have won blank. I think if we went back in time and we played, I lose 8 out of 10 of those games, but I was so mad because every time I was on camera for that Seattle thing, and you'd think I'm on camera all the time, I work in the business, blah, blah, blah. I'm the least likely to, had nothing to do with camera shyness or whatever. It was just how the dice rolled out. And I was like, God, are you kidding me? The only 2 times I was on camera, the only 2 losses I had was in the finals and the Affinity Player. But that was a great event. I'm going to get up there again eventually. Not anytime soon yet. I'm hurting for funds like most people out there, but it's great to hear from you, Tim the Wilder. Keep chiming in. Let me know. It's nice to have met somebody in real life. I got to meet your James B at Pro Tour LA and stuff, and very, very cool. That was such a cool event. I tried to explain to people how just hands down better that event is, and just the store, and God, they just do it so right. Camera plus wanting to win totally gives me sweaty palms. Yeah, well, there was an actual advantage I had against you in the finals, is that I knew I was such a dead dog that I'm just like, yeah, whatever. You kind of go in with that Mike Tyson payoff sort of mentality. I don't know if that's even a thing, but all right. We've got lots of mana here going up against land destruction. We've still got 3 mana available. We're really hurting for stuff, though, right? So let me, as opposed to getting more artifacts out, I'm just going to rock like this. We're going to bring out our dude, so we can at least resemble some sort of an offense here. It's got to be frustrating for our opponent. I've faced mono black land destruction twice so far with this build, and it's usually gone like this, where their deck does their thing, but it just doesn't matter because our thing is a lot meaner. CK is awesome. Can't wait for the post-COVID. Ha! Yes, no kidding. Yeah. Who needs lands anyway? That's right. That's how I roll. Yeah, I wish I had the patience to play Tron or look into it, but it's just so damn. Like right after the bans happened, I know it like placed 3 in the top 8, and it's like, good job, Wizards. Between Impulse and Crop Rotation. Well, we got a Tron Master in the house, Tim the Wilder. Let us know what are the changes you've made. Feel free to enlighten everybody, because those no small feat that you pulled off. Went through quite a varied metagame. I remember I think I was sporting COP Black in my Boros Bully build because the Dimir Angler with foil and Gush and everything was on the table back then, and they leaned so heavily on Angler. I was like, all right, well, COP then. That won me a lot of games that it wasn't supposed to be in the list, but hey, I'm the guy that made the deck, so don't be telling me what I'm supposed to put in it, damn it. All right, so we're taking some damage. We've got all the mana we need. We're feeling pretty good. Are you talking? Oh, I guess you're talking to me, Cash Override. I thought that was a question for Tron. I like the black just because it can deal with critters. Green is awesome and can explode a little bit more, but it can't deal with flyers. Yeah, that I actually like that fold up there because that's exactly what games 2 and 3 were going to go like there. So anyway, we're going to no trash mono black and for fun decks. All right. Well, he has only got buddies available. Otherwise, I might have played there. But keep in mind too, when you're playing online, sometimes when you join it, if you don't host the game, if you join it, you can run into some issues there. But we're gonna play one more here, and we'll call it a BruteSquad day. Bird of Paradise. All right. I think we play in the proper Classic Tuesdays quite a bit here. So here's a great, just okay hand that's normally just crap, but because of Drum and our leanings on it, and look, artifact, we're going to keep this. We'll rock like this. Be nice if we see another land. If we don't, that's okay too. Tim the Wilder kicking down some knowledge. I've been playing less lately since most play paper. Oh, okay. Yeah. I know, what was that? Mikey Ruru back in the day, I think, was the first one to have any success with like things over like 65 land count teaching style decks. But all right, what are we up against here? Some sort of technology. All right, black, green. Probably a little bit more leaning on, you know what? I'm going to actually lean off with a recruit here just in case they stumble on their mana a little bit. It's usually more creature based, and we might be able to get in 3 damage next turn. Mr. Rocket says no one can. Yeah, I know. We've had some quitters today. It's like they're. It's maybe like 1 in 3 shows that happened. Today we've had 2. That's kind of frustrating. All right. Well, we've got our stuff here. Let's. I'll bring out a Flayer Husk. Cool. And then we're going to bring out a Drum. Come on. Living weapon. Here comes the Drum, giving us some metal craft. Wonder what he's going to go grab. Maybe this is like Dark Elves or something, but with a basic swamp. Who knows? But hey, this is pretty cool, right? I don't want to give him too much info. We'll attack first. Maybe run into a mutagenic. Wouldn't that be sweet? I love me some 100 card Grixis control. Yeah, Shiraz, I hear you. That's strange. Why wouldn't you block there? Okay. Well, I'm just going to keep the aggro ruse up. I've got a thing in my heart for Singleton too. Not so much Commander, but I really like it. Really brings you back to like that Christmas morning joy of what MTG is, right? What on earth? Why wouldn't you block there? Why would you play a Herald if you didn't? Unless they're already holding the card. It's like some revelation from a bad 90s flick. Aggro ruse. All right, well, we've got 7 on the board here. Let's drop this because everybody loves a hasted Bird of Paradise. Let's see what we get. Boink. I said a hasted Bird of Paradise. Damn it. I'll bring this out. I'll tap this for blue. Or tap that for blue. Do that. Alright, well there's our thing, and whatever he brings out, we've got an answer for now. So let's just attack for 7. It's good times. Built for by Paper Pauper Commander decks. Oh, nice MTM tat. Kicking down the truth. Alright, what do we have here? So you got some strange Okiba Gang Shinobi trick next turn. I don't know what's happening. Okay, this play I understand a little bit. Or are they playing with the Bone Picker and they hope it dies on his turn? I'm not sure what's happening here. Hey, that's kind of cool. Alright. Boink. Here we go. So I'm going to try to refill my caffeine. Like, actually, I probably shouldn't do that. Wait a few hours, and I'll probably play the last 2 rounds of my perfect outing so far with this. I'm just trying to quash my expectations. Like I said, so nice when you start off a tournament 3-0. It's been a while. And it's just kind of feel like I did against Tim in the finals, where it's just like, yeah, whatever. I can lose the next 2, and I'm still making a tiny profit. That's another reason to run Oblivion Ring main. As you can see, we've got 3 mana, even though the deck only runs like 13. So. All right. Let's go crazy here. This isn't going to do much of anything, so let's draw some cards. I didn't even check to see. I out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, we have a lot of stuff that should probably cost 1. Anybody else do that? I do it all the time. Should be focusing on PCT, right? Yes. Yeah. It's going to take a miracle for me to not play this on Tuesday. I played, I think, last week's version of it, and same thing. I just ran into those kind of opening hands, and I was like, I kept thinking, like, do you have the balls to play 4 Brutes and 4 Flayer Husks? To which I looked in the mirror dramatically and said yes. All right, this isn't... We have enough mana here. This is fine. Let's just... Sometimes, you know, I think like, oh, I'll build, but it's like they've got nothing outside of a darkness or a fog here. We're all right. Huzzah! Come on, Brute. Let's go. That's so cool that you found the show, Tim. That just makes my day. Somebody from like the physical world, and especially with these quarantine times. So thank you so much for chiming in and joining us. Hopefully you're no stranger to the show, but it's nice to hear from you. Get a lot of lurkers. Really like when people chime in, because like I said, if you saw where I'm doing this, just my boy's room. We got a nice backdrop and a desk. That's about it. It's just some old bald dude that likes Pauper, trying to share it with everybody. Here we go. So if you can chime in, I appreciate it. Otherwise, whatever. Looks like we're going up with some sort of zombie mid-range recursion. Ornament showing up. We've got answers. They've got answers, but our stuff keeps kind of squeaking through. So you can have 8 husks now. Yes. With all the return. I know, add Skyfishers and make it an even 12. Or just keep doing it. Don't like it in a lot of builds. I know there's that new artifact, the sword thingy, but that costs 2. Huge drawback in this build. Huge. Actually, you know what we can do, because we had a Rage Quitter or 2, I can just, for old school sakes, we'll lose an Ornithopter. Isn't that a fun play? I'll replay some of the better, not the whole match, but just some of the cool matchups from the league so far. I think I can just hit replay and show you guys 1 or 2 of those. So, yeah. All right, we don't need these anymore. I'll trip this for that. Again, you want to do this early on because we might find something that does something, like another tooth or another whatever. All right, we'll go like this. We'll play this just because we can. We'll play this because we can. Watch, he's got like some crypt rat. We're like, whambo! We're dead. Attack! Whoa. And because you got to be careful with snuff out with 1 access to a basic out there, we're going to lean on something we don't care about, like the husk. I like to target whatever I care about the least. Booyah! What's that? 2? Yep, there. Look at that. Aren't we glad we didn't do that? And we still get 4 in. Let's make it 8 because they had to play snuff out, which is kind of like a I don't know. This is kind of a weird scenario, right? Of course, they might have that, what is it, Knot of the Bone, or there's a lot of ways to gain just a ton of life. Crypt Incursion, lots of stuff. Paladin 19, sorry, I'm going upside down here, permanently just before my... Oh, man. Yeah, that's a bummer. Store's closing. I know they were saying there was some horrible new thing, at least here in the States, saying, like, for America, like, 1 out of every 3 restaurants are going under now, not like will. It's like, it's really, really, really grim out there. It's just like, geez, people, craziness. I think we just favor volume here. I'm just going to attack. Another great thing about the Tooth, you've got to remember this if you want to shove Bone Splitter in like I did. If they deal with it now, they throw out a flash block or whatever, you still have the option here. Now, we've already seen Echoing Decay, but we only have 1 human. So I'm actually going to point at the Gingerbrute. I've only cast 1 of 1 mind. So we'll see if this is enough to do with something. Probably a moment's peace if they're going to stay in it. Pulse Marasa. Might help if I knew what they targeted. We'll just journey it anyway. I'll bring up the chat, but there's so much screen real estate. I'm just trying to keep it show-centric. Say it out loud. My Sharona Cyrus, YouTube lawyer, uses that phrase. I saw some, I love that show Better Call Saul, and there's some like real version of him that the show did a thing on that was really, really, really funny. All right, Pulse not good enough. I'm going to bring in 2 Macabre, not 3. I'll lose a Tooth. We saw quite a bit of shenanigans with both Echoing Decay and Chainer's Edict, so I'm not quite sure. I actually think we might want to lose another Tooth for 2 Macabre. I don't think we're going to need the Ring. Of course, you know what? Their deck's a bit slower, so I'm actually going to bring in the Ring, because if they have their, what is that, the Bonder's Ornament, the like $25 Pauper card, we're going to be able to at least grab it, and it won't be as dead as Journey to Nowhere. In this kind of build, who knows? I mean, honestly, we just don't know what we're facing. But I like this. Prismatic's not necessary. We've got 2 Faerie Macabres. We'll be able to just kind of tinker with something. We saw Pulsa Marasa main. Who knows? We might bring in the 3rd Macabre later, but for right now, we'll just leave it like this. Baby, is COVID outside? That's pretty funny. Coronavirus. Sharona Cyrus. Nice. Just spat my beer out. Nice. All right. So yeah, after this, we'll I don't want to do all of them because that could get a little tedious, but we've got a Pestilence matchup, a red-blue Delver matchup, or Jeskai Graveyard Recursion, or a Tog Fling combo. So which one of those do you guys want to see the replay on? And we'll just do that at close the show. We will keep this. Okay, this, I'm so glad this happened. Imagine this hand without the drum. Or without artifact creatures. You have to scoop. We don't now. This is just good times. I mean, just double check. We got the drum. We got the Thoughtcast. Yeah, this is just a good hand. It's not great, but we're definitely going to keep it. Just brutal efficiency. Something I'd like to think I specialize in with deck design. It's like, why have that when this can do 3 things? And this does 4. And give me some more. All right, we'll lead off with the drum. It's usually always the play, especially if you've got an Ornithopter. Then it's a no-brainer. We'll do this. I'm going to lean on Gingerbrute here because we've got kind of a hard-hitting combo here. And next turn I'll do this with this, and it'll be good times. So we're going to bring this out, play nice and slow. Bring this out, and look at that. We've got an Artifact Shock. Turn 1. Who does that? I do. Damn it. Woo! So if it's not me that 5-0s with this, I really think somebody will in the next week or 2. I don't have the channel views or anything like that a lot of streamers do, but one of these days we might catch on. Or not. Who knows? That's not what it's about. You know, as much as I love the cosmos and all my space talk, they're not bad. I'm not going to say that. They're not bad. Watch, somebody's going to be like, I can't believe you said those were terrible. I never said that. Chill, people. All right. Oh, this just keeps getting better and better. Let's do this. It's like, what do you use here, right? At this point, you might want to just block. We'll do this. Hello. Hey, that's kind of cool. Let's do this to the drum. And we'll play this. This is that 1-for-1 answer. The same sort of thing happens with like Delver Red pilots and stuff, or where they have that one answer and they're just like, okay, well, you can kill one of these. And we just played like 6. Have fun with that. Booyah. I think a block's probably the best play here. I guess you could get rid of the tooth. Cool. I think they're realizing that too. Kind of want to get some Enforcer Rush of Knowledge action going, even though I know it's bad, says Tim the Wilder. Yeah, that's the Tron player in you, right? When you're thinking 1 or 2 more turns, this one's already won. Now, in scenarios like this, yeah. Except for Rush, that only gets you 3 cards. But hiya! Safe hold elite. Ugh, these are those, what would you call them? Just extend the game creatures. You know, when Safe Hold Elite was like a regular and Stompy, like about 2 or 3 months into the build. That was fun. Well, that's kind of cool. I'm going to save the Oblivion Ring. We'll cast the Journey. They can't really respond to it. Worst case scenario, they kill it. We have to grab our own Ornithopter. There's no swamp out though, so not really an option right now. Hey, we'll play this to this to this. We're doing a lot, but it kind of feels like Boros Monarch, right? Where we're just drawing cards, draw cards that say draw a card. So that's a bit frustrating, but whatever. I broke one of my own rules. I should have pitched this first. So we can crack a clue here, and if I see a tooth, I'm going to be mad at myself. All right, that's not so bad. Let's double click on it, just out of bad habits, and I'd say good habit. Who knows, maybe you miss a land drop. It's a long tournament day. You didn't get to eat because you were playing Tron. A little jab at you there, Tim. All right, Caterpillar showing up. Here we go. So I could Oblivion Ring it, then he brings that back. We do that to that. That'd be funny. But he's going to do that for that. Backpack food. Backpack food, the key. Yes, well said. It was me too. I think I had like a bag of spicy peanuts or something. That's like, nuts are very calorie dense, good food if you don't have time to eat. All right. Let me drop like this. See what we can grab. All right, the fun continues. Their big aha is going to be, oh, I'm going to trip this in response to that. We could do it now. He trips it. That comes back. We get it back. That'd be pretty funny, right? I think that's how it would work. No, because once we target it, then he trips it. And he gets back his big, I'll just call him the big fatty. I'll just draw some cards. He wants to do that. I'll wait till next turn. We can do the old aha moment back at him. I'll cast like good creatures and stuff. Yeah, why not? I'll do this. Bring this out. Whoop. Good times. Water. I see it. I see it. You're going to, end of turn, sack your Caterpillar. I'm going to get back a guy that's going to die to something with tooth. It's amazing. Oh, look at this. Cool. All right. Let's bring that out. Are you going to block or no? I guess it doesn't matter at this point. We've drawn like 8 cards, I think, 2 clues, and our graveyard shows 3 of 1 mines. Boy, we're not hitting very. We're doing a lot of stuff, but it's not really equating to much offense here. We're getting a little bit flooded. We've got 2 drums and a lot of other stuff out. Curious what the payoff is for that Herald there. In comes our dude. I guess he realizes he's not going to block anytime soon. Well, I like this now because our Oblivion Ring has a target. I think I'll take out the Herald here. Yeah, see? 1, 2, 3. I'll bring this out. Hello. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Cool. Well, let's do this. Let me make this unblockable. He might have some killer stuff here, but for right now I'm going to do this. Then I'll tap this for a white. We'll return the tooth that we used. I keep waiting to see TE show up with this build here. And we'll just attack here for 6, 7. Yeah, 7. It's not so bad. Got a good flyer here. This little trick is going to, I guess it costs him a card. I don't know. We're probably running into another removal spell here. But I'm fine. I'm going to lean on, you know what? Since he didn't block, I'm actually going to lean on this because there's no snuff out. If he's got a kill card, I'd actually rather this one go down. Well, we've used 3 of 1 mines. That's my logic there. There it is. Hey, it wouldn't be a show without cast down being played, right? There it is. Damn good removal. Remember when I said it wasn't? Just kidding, I never said that. But I'm sure somebody in the comments will be like, what do you got against cast down? It's like, how many minutes you got? Let's rewind and show all the times I said, when have I said that? You can't use that as the reasoning. Now, gotcha culture's in full effect, I tell you. All right. Carrion Feeder can't do nothing. Caterpillar can't do nothing. They can't block here. Cool. Well, let's make stuff unblockable. And bring that dude out of exile. That's cool. You know, it's probably smarter for me to just use the tooth on the Ornithopters here. Divvy him up. I'll make him unblockable, and I'm going to put all of my eggs in one basket on the Ornithopter, because if we're going to kill something, I'd rather have my 2 evasive creatures survive the end of this turn. I'll just do it now. Ooh-doo-doo. In the 90s, my mates used to mountain bike with a camel full of alcohol. Wow. That's a recipe for a hospital visit, if you ask me, but oh, the youth, right? Here we go. Coming on over for some goods. Maybe they can use another cast down on an Ornithopter. Talk about casting down, cast down. It's like, and then in the great annals of cast down history, it targeted, drumroll, an Ornithopter. And just like, hear this confused crowd like, okay. Hey, I forgot I had another caffeine boost. All right. So if you're out there, you like the show, you don't mind the host, look at that. It happened. Cast down takes down an Ornithopter. Who saw that coming? And if you have access to anybody at Wizards, please let them know that in that big pile of resumes, there's somebody that they're probably going to think it's a scam because they've just got such a wall of work that's Wizards related. They might think it's some sort of joke. It isn't. I'm willing to relocate. Everybody knows I love that area. Even got friends up there with the MTG Bellingham crew. Good times. And I got a weird sense of the universe is just going to like be one of those cricket outings, right? Not the game, the sound effect. All right, opponents at 5. We're reaching enough people now. Maybe somebody knows somebody. Be like, hey, did you know so-and-so sent a resume in? Like, huh? Yeah, let me look again. Hey, who knew? Me piping up here might cause something like that to happen. I doubt it, but it could. Check this out. We can hardcast a Macabre. And then some. We can do it twice if we want to. Speaking of that, I'll use blue to do this. We'll just attack and win, I think. Oh, they might have a Pulse of Marasa here, in which case this is just going to feel like a kick in the crotch. My keyboard is drunk again, Citrus. Clip it, says Mr. Rocket. All right, here we are. Coming on over. See how good blockers are? Even our 1-drops mean business. I just don't have to do anything. Onus is on you, dude. You want to kill something? Then I'll use my tooth. Destroy a non-elf creature. Hey, that's almost as good as this, but it costs more. Okay, well that's dead. I guess we'll pile on the damage here. See why this is better than Bone Splitter? A lot of scenarios like this. Might have a cast down. We're out of Pulse Marasa range. What's this? Hey! Alright, that sucks. I should have foreseen that. A little bit of a mini punt there. Cool. Pulse Marasa is really kind of the... Well, no, they got one more out. If we get a Gingerbread Man, we'll be alright, but I should have seen that. We were out of snuff out range with the Hawk, so if anything, I should have divvied it up. Alright. Yep. I mean, or I could have just hard casted this. I just didn't want to see a Pulse Marasa go south. So anyway, I'm going to go real quickly here. We're going to show you so far what's happening in the league. I believe so. Can I replay these matches? It's different than the last time I used to play. Where are my games at? Show the deck. Leaderboard. Huh. Does anyone know? I don't want to drop from the league. If I hit play match and then I hit cancel. Cancel. Okay, there we go. All right. So we've got Pestilence. There was a control build with like a Graveyard Recursion, a Jeskai variant, and an Atog. I believe. I'll just go with the first one here. Proboscis is a really good player. This one was the fastest, so I'm going to just view the replay here. And we'll go out with this as I just kind of relaxingly discuss the show. Hopefully, I'll be uploading this as a 5.0 later, and we'll just, have a little chat on all that stuff. So as we see here, we're going to lead off against a Pestilence build. Now, believe it or not, this and Mono Black actually pretty good matchups. We just have so much cannon fodder that we're able to throw out. We're able to go out like this. Hey, check out that first turn. Let's pause it here. Yeah, that was turn 1. Hit for 3. We've got access to every color. Everything is a 3 or better. Husk is about to show up. Good times. This deck's crazy when you see it on caffeine vision like that, where it's just like speed. And that sucks. Could have easily Thoughtcast there with the help of Ornithopter. We'll see what happens here. I got to keep riding this button here. We'll bring this out. We'll tap this for that. Attack. Boom. We don't have a human, so we keep one mind in our hand as we go here. Oh, hey, you know what? As much as I like to badmouth 1-for-1 discard, it's doing some work here. It stopped us from 4 cards. We'll go like this. Attack here. We're coming in for 4. If you remember the very first few Paupergandas, I used to play a tournament like 3 rounds, get to this stage, and then I'd play 2 rounds live. If I remember right, I think we get Oblivion Ring here, or eventually. I think this is the game. Nope. Never mind. But again, see, these Ornithopters are great early. What do you do with them later? Well, you make them do stuff. You turn them into Glint Hawks and better. And don't get me started against like Delver and stuff, like when 1/1 Flyers are their turn 1 play, and when we just drop an Ornithopter, it's like it really stultifies their growth. We draw this, we're playing this. Boy, this gets addictive, just crack speed. This deck feels so much more like the Modern Affinity deck than the Casual Affinity and Pauper. Oh yeah, I know. Call it Azorius Affinity. I am the Azorius Madman, as my card frame says. I think it does. This is why I wanted to show you guys. I circled this match because you think like, oh, Hovel, but you know what? It gets value in this deck. We'll come on over for this. Go like this. Tooth, wham! That's a 4/3 Ornithopter, folks. This is deluxe, meaning me, and yeah, it's good times. So I'll go over the deck here, and then we're going to call it a day. Only thing we lost to really was that cool Orso build. I wouldn't recommend taking that out to an outing. Who knows? Maybe they're on to the next big thing. I think this is the next big thing. And if you want the list, this is where it lives. It'll be in the chat below too, at the top of the show as well. We've got 4 dens, 1 plane, 4 seats, 4 encampments. The backbone of the deck is the encampment and the drum with the 1, 8, 12 first turn plays that don't matter what mana you've got. And in this case, don't need mana. How could you improve this deck? You could get the Amy Weber Ornithopter artwork online from Antiquities. It's so superior to this. Anyway, we've got draw in this and this and this. So if you really think about it, that's like 12 draw spells that can go down, and that's putting it lightly. Our Flayer Husks and Gingerbrutes make Electricity look good when in fact it really isn't, because we can trip this for life and we can make things on Electricity proof. But it helps because people bring in Electricity and it's 1 less card and they draw, while we're drawing 2, they're drawing that and they can't really do anything with it. Inspector, key card in this list. The Recruit. We don't play the Smurf. When you hear me say the Smurf, I mean the Court Homunculus, because it looks like a Smurf from the 80s cartoon. Never liked it. It's white. It's all of these things, but worse because it has to be white. Whereas this, you get a really big upside, and with 1 activation of a, where is it? Where are my teeth? With 1 activation of the tooth, you can take down all the 4/4s in the format. Got 1 ring, one of the worst matchups, and as a streamer, I'm glad we didn't see it. Elves can be rough. I can beat it pretty 50-50 because of Prismatic Strands. However, walls is the one thing you don't want to see. And between the journeys in this and the speed, we hope we get there. Game 3 and 4, or 3 and 4, what am I talking about? 2 and 3, we use Harsh Sustenance even against walls to ping up the key parts of the combo, as well as the key other ring. The other cards you don't want to see, obviously, Pestilence, which Ring does a good job of grabbing. It's never dead. You can just grab anything you want, as well as Bonner's Ornament, but mainly like a Spider Silk Armor will really shut this deck off outside of a Gingerbrute with very high career hopes. Anyway, guys, Mr. Rocket in the house, Shirazamon, MTM Tad as always, a little fight. I love you all. Thank you so much for hanging out with this old man. Keep me company on this COVID nonsense. Stay safe out there. We're going to roll to, what do we got here? I'm not quite sure. Oh yeah, just our little supporter ad there. And we'll see you at the same time, same place next week. I promise I won't play, no I don't, but I almost promise I won't play BruteSquad. But it's been fun. Love this deck. I'm not going to jump into a lot of leagues anymore. It's just not my thing right now until Tron's gone. But this has game against it all. So anyway, y'all, for Pauperganda, please help spread the word. Email Wizard, say, hey, check this guy out. Damn it, he should be working there. And we'll see you all next week. Adios, guys. Hey, Pauperganda fans. Thank you so much for the continued support of the people to my right. Also, if you want to have your deck played, a 10-ticket donation on Magic the Gathering Online is probably the best way to do it, as well as sending us an email to pauperganda@gmail.com. But anyway, thank you so much again for the people over here, and we'll see you next time.
Is there more to entertainment than 500-channel TV and zillion-dollar movies? Turning the sound up and your mind off? Is there still a place where fun involves thinking, imagining, doing? Some of us think so, and we find it in a game. Magic the Gathering. All you need to play is a brain, a deck, and a friend.
Nice tongue.
Rock Tone Body Spray. Reach for it.
Available at all fine skincare superstores.